The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue the special military operation in Ukraine. On June 20 at about 5 o'clock in the morning, the Kiev regime attempted to capture Snake Island. The plan of the operation, composed by the Kiev regime, supposed to launch massive air and artillery attacks at Snake Island, to disembark troops and capture it. The air attack has involved more than 15 Ukrainian attack and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles, adjusted by 2 Bayraktar TB2 unmanned aerial vehicles. Russian means detected a Global Hawk RQ-4 strategic reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicle of the US Air Force at high altitudes near Snake Island. Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles were supported in the air by S-300 air defense systems from their combat positions near Tuzla and Ochakov. Missile and artillery attacks at Snake Island were launched by Ukrainian .U ballistic missiles, Uragan multiple rocket launchers, and M777 howitzers from their combat positions to the west from Odessa and in Kubansky Island. Russian air defense means, namely Panzer and Tor air defense missile systems, have destroyed all the destruction means of the enemy launched at Snake Island. The destroyed targets were 13 unmanned aerial vehicles, 4 .U missiles, and 21 projectiles of Uragan multiple rocket launcher. No Ukrainian destruction means have reached their targets in Snake Island. The unsuccessful fire attack forced the enemy to abandon the landing to Snake Island. After being convinced that the attempt to seize the island had failed, the Kiev regime took an attempt of a new gamble related to Russian gas infrastructure facilities in the northwestern part of the Black Sea. After 8 o'clock in the morning, anti-ship missiles and the Bayraktar TB2 unmanned aerial vehicle attacked BK-1 and Krim-1 gas production platforms. The Ukrainian provocation has resulted in an intensive fire at BK-1 platform. This area of the Black Sea has resulted to be in danger of an environmental disaster. Sabotages of the Kiev regime have been reflected by launching Onyx cruise missiles at Shkolny military airfield near Odessa and the destruction of the hangars for Ukrainian Bayraktar TB2 unmanned aerial vehicles detected by Russian reconnaissance means. 2 artillery platoons of M777 howitzers have been destroyed in Kubansky Island. Russian aerospace forces have destroyed 2 launching ramps of S-300 air defense missile system near Ochakov and Tuzla, Odessa region. The enemy continues suffering considerable losses during the special military operation. Only 28 servicemen of the 57th Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces that operates in Severodonetsk have remained in the ranks. The other has been left only with commanders. Reserves for replenishing the losses are exhausted. Territorial defense battalions that arrive from the western regions of Ukraine for reinforcing refuse to head to the front. Servicemen of the 101st Territorial Defense Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces have stated that they refuse to be involved in the operations and headed to the rear area in the responsibility zone of Solidar Operational Tactical Group. There are more than 600 people who have refused to fight. M777 howitzers delivered by USA and European countries to Ukraine have become a good target for Russian destruction means. 15 howitzers, mostly yet unused and deployed near Druzhivka railway station, have been destroyed over the past 24 hours. Residents of the settlements adjacent to the operation zones in Dnepropetrovsk, Kharkov and Zaporozhye regions are being forcibly mobilized. National police units block the settlements for their purposes. Men of all ages are detained to be mobilized. Kiev regime spreads information about an allegedly secret troop of Zelensky to Lysychansk, where he faced a shelling. At the same time, the group of Ukrainian troops near Lysychansk has been cut off from supplies and is being under firing control of the Russian armed forces. According to the Ukrainian prisoners, units of 79th Airborne Assault Brigade have been abandoned by their commanders. Servicemen who remained alive had nothing to do but to surrender for saving their lives. The same situation is in 57th Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. After losing the 2/3 of personnel, its commander backed the group command to inform the Ukrainian Armed Forces General Staff and Zelensky in person about the real situation. Kiev regime continues spreading fake news in the best tradition of Quartal 95, amid its military failures for doing something to stop the panic and the escape of its personnel from Donbass.